Okay, guys, I just wanted to go over some of the most important parts of this Pele Yoetz. We're not going to see the whole thing, but it will take you through the main paragraphs over here. The main takeaways. The beginning, it's under the paragraph of Haka about hitting your kids. Haka, Amar was saying says the rabbis, the tzaddikim from the Gemara and Ma'id Katan. Hamake b'noi hagadol, someone who strikes his older son, chayiv nidoy, is he's chayiv excommunication. He gets excommunicated. Ulufum taima af anu nilmat. So we can learn from the reasoning from this Gemara for striking an older son. The lav dafka make b'noi gadol. This doesn't mean only striking an older son. Sherei hatam hu lefisha garin livnoi sheyeboyet boy. The reason why a person is obligated to be excommunicated for striking his son is because when he strikes his son, he causes his son to rebel against him. V'ye makle aviv. And this son will disgrace his father. So the problem is, the reason why this father can't hit his kid is because his kid is going to hit him back or say something back or do something mean back. So therefore the father transgresses the prohibition of putting a stumbling block before a blind person, because his kid will not be able to resist the urge and strike back. This doesn't necessarily only mean a older son, elafilu katan, even a younger son. If you know that the kid is not going to receive your rebuke, like in our generation, that there is a lot of chutzpah. I don't know if there's a translation for chutzpah, but this is a Gemara that the generations before Mashiach, there's going to be a lot of chutzpah. So if the kid isn't going to receive the mussar you're going to give him, so then a person violates the transgression of lifnei iver by telling this kid what to do. Ubein boyed ba'aviv lo yalidei haka. And even if the kid kicks his father back, even if the kid didn't get hit, elafilu im goyerbo, even if the father just snarled at him, growled at him, because he was angry, and he's like, good job. So this kid is going to get angry and not receive the ga'ara, the growl, the snarl of his father. The emes amru techas ga'ara b'mevin mehakois kesil meya. The fear of the growl in an understanding person has more of an effect, mehakois kesil meya, than 100 hits that you give a fool. Wow, what a beautiful pasuk. B'mevin amru. The verse says with someone who's understanding. So someone who's understanding can understand the fear of the ga'ara, of the growl of a father. Someone who doesn't have understanding does not receive a ga'ara, a growl, snarl. It really means ga'ar chaya sada, like the growl of a animal. So that was the first part I wanted to show you. That there's another part I want to show you later on in the Sefer, on the second page, where he actually brings this Gemara that the Rambam quotes. We're going to find it here? Yes. And he brings the Gemara. We're actually going to see the Gemara inside in a second. But he says something fascinating. He says, Uzuchrani bi'ish echad yaresh hayaparnas al yeladim. There's this one yid, he was a very God-fearing yid, and he was a parnas al hayeladim. He was in charge of the kids. I don't know why they call him a parnas. Usually that means a gvir and shul. Shebishas pitirasa itziva lahachris bebeis hakneses shushoyel mechila mikol haketanim imhika oisam shalekedin. When he was on his deathbed, he asked forgiveness from all the kids that he might have hit them, not accordingly. It wasn't a fair hitting. It wasn't a fair spanking. Ki bevade afilu lebanav haketanim v'talmidav lo yahutcher haretzu lahakoisam shalekedin. For sure, you're not allowed to hit them shalekedin. Al loy chamas b'kapein, if they did nothing wrong. This is an important line. You know why this is an important line? Because we had the Rambam from yesterday. The Rambam seems to say, my place marker got lost. Let's see if I'm going to open it up to the right place. The Rambam says that you hit them. I have to show you inside so people don't think I'm making this up. Why does the Rambam say you hit your kids? Umake oison hamelame, the teacher hits them, lahatil aleihem ema, to put upon them fear. That doesn't mean they did something wrong. No? How do you guys want to learn this Rambam? They did something wrong or no? I'll make it even worse. Guys. How are we going to learn this? Because what's going to come out is that it depends on the source for a father's obligation to teach his kids Torah. Okay, again, this is Maseches Baba Basra. This is the source for the Rambam. I want to go through the whole Gemara for a second, but I just want to show you this one line, which I find pretty exciting. We're going to Daf Chaf Aleph. And I'm going to show you over here this Gemara. It's an epic Gemara. I learned it once upon a time. Here, this is the Gemara we wanted to see. V'amar le Rav Shmuel Bar Shila. Says Rav to Bar Shmuel Bar Shilas, he was a very famous melamed. Ki machisa liyanuka. When you hit a child, loy timche ella ba'arkisa de misani. Hit him with a shoelace. De kari, a kid who's going to learn will end up learning. Deloy kari, someone who doesn't learn, leheve tzavsa lechavre, should be a tzavsa, a companion for his friend. Meaning, don't kick him out of the base medrash. Let's see if Rashi says something over here. I believe he does. This is Rashi on the side. So let's see what he says here. You see this Rashi? People of the book, we got to read the book. We're pointing to the right place. Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas Milame Tinoikis Haya. We're going to skip that one. Loi simche loi ba'arksa de misana b'ritzua shel minolim. The straps of sandals. They had sandals back in the day. Kloi ramake kala shelo yuzak. You should hit him a little patch, a maka kala, small hit. Shelo yuzak, that he shouldn't get damaged. Lehav sig tzavsa lechavre einecha zakuk liastro. You're not obligated to continue to hit this kid to get him to learn. Yoisimi died, more than enough. Veloy lisalkoi, and you cannot kick him out of the base medrash. Milfanecha, in front of you. Elayeshev im ha'acherim bitzavsa. He should sit in the base medrash with his friends. V'soifoi laseis Lave, and at the end, he will pay attention. Isn't that beautiful? When it comes to kicking kids out of yeshiva, this is really the Mari Makom. But the point that I wanted to point out was that you see the Gemara clearly states when you hit a kid. So I like to take a vote over here. According to the Rambam, it seems like you're hitting him lechachila out of ema. In fact, there's a Rabbi Dessler that I hope to bring who quotes the Sfarim HaKadoshim, according to the article that I read, where it seems to imply that you should lechachila be hitting your kids. And what's clear from the Pele Yoetz is that the obligation to hit your kids is based on the result of what's going to happen. And what we're going to see that it really depends on the source of a father's obligation to teach his kids Torah and how long that obligation lasts for, and at what stages is the father obligated to teach certain things. And in that case, would that determine whether right now forcing your kid to learn Torah, which is something that's objectively better for him, versus the long-term goal of increasing his own intrinsic motivation, which would be decreased if you actually coerce him to do it. So how would we make that calculation? Really depends on how we understand the father's obligation to teach his kids Torah. And soon, more to be, more coming soon. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. And take care. Laila Tov.